What is up guys, Farmer Taiki here, and in this video I want to go over how I accumulated 10,000 Matic tokens. Hell yeah, I did it, for essentially free using the Polygon network, using Aave, Curve, and yield farming. If you like the content, please like and subscribe and leave a comment in the comment section below. None of this is financial advice, so let's get started. Okay, so 5 days ago I made this video on my plan to accumulate 10,000 Matic for free using Polygon. And at the time of recording 5 days ago, I had less than 5,000 tokens. But in the last 5 days, I got into some really good yield farms. And look at me now, like 10,000 Matic. It wasn't technically free because I did pay like $3,000 in farm, like the deposit fees. But I'm not complaining, right? Like 10,000 Matic, that's like $14,500. Essentially, is this yield farm. So I'm sure there's a lot of interest in the Polygon network because the Matic token is pumping. So let's go over like a game plan of like I want to share the game plan that I used to get to where I am now. And you're definitely not too late because Polygon, I see a really bright future ahead for Polygon. So the reason Polygon is like the Matic token is booming is because there's a lot of people that's wanting to use the Polygon network. Polygon piqued my interest initially when I saw this news a month ago where they launched a $40 million liquidity mining program with Aave. Aave is a DeFi blue chip. It's a borrowing and lending platform. And what this means is that, Polygon is a sidechain. It's a scaling solution for Ethereum. And to incentivize people to put their money into Polygon, they started to pay people to use the Polygon network. Yes, they're paying you to use the Polygon network. And part of that is Aave, and they also pay you to use Curve. So if you go to Aave, right, let's look at the markets here. When I first made my video, like 2 weeks ago, the TVL, the total value locked, was 1.5 billion. Now it's 4.2 billion. Like, why is this? Like, why is there so much money flowing into Polygon? Well, like I said, they're paying you to use the network. So, for example, USDC, if you deposit and lend USDC on Aave, you get paid 3% paid in USDC, but you also get paid 6% in the Matic token. If you want to borrow USDC, right, you want to take on leverage, you want to borrow dollars, you have to pay 4% to Aave to borrow dollars, but the Polygon network will pay you 7% to borrow, right? You're being paid to borrow and lend. You're being paid to use Aave. So, if you're looking into Polygon, I think it's a mistake to not use Aave. Like Aave is a way to just get paid to use leverage essentially, and to earn like really nice APRs on your dollars and your Bitcoin, ETH, etc. So as you can see, like in the past 12 hours, I've earned 11 Matic, and like I can kind of comfortably do this. My health factor is like pretty low, but that's because I'm just like, most of my collateral is dollars, and I'm just borrowing dollars against it, and every day I'm just like adding more Matic into it. So, my collateral balance will just keep growing over time. Okay. So so let's say you want to take on not that much risk, right? You have a full-time job and you don't have time to like manage your portfolio. Well, one thing you can do is use Aave and Curve. So if you use Curve, it's another DeFi blue chip on the Polygon network. They'll pay you roughly 10% paid in dollars, right? And 38% paid in the Matic token. So this alone is amazing, because if you go to a bank, they're going to pay you like what, 0.05% in dollars? Like, no, fuck that. Like, fuck banks. Just put it into DeFi. That's the power of decentralized finance. Peer-to-peer lending of money, peer-to-peer borrowing and lending of money, not through a financial intermediary, but through code. So this is one. But obviously, I'm sure a lot of you just want to know how to yield farm on Polygon network. And as you can see, like I'm very committed to yield farming on Polygon. I even bought this farmer hat and this rake because I want to rake more Matic in, right? Okay, so, I have a video on this. Like I have a 20-minute video, how to be a profitable yield farmer on Polygon Matic. I really suggest everyone watch this if you want to give it a shot. It's pretty long, 20 minutes, but I mean, if you're going to be a profitable yield farmer, just educate yourself, right? And I also have a full playlist on the Matic network. Okay, so if you don't know what farms are, I'll be real, it's essentially like Ponzonomics, where, the earlier you are, the more money you can make. How does this work? So this is the largest yield farm on Polygon right now. It's called Polywhale, where you can stake tokens to earn Krill. Krill is the farm token. So for example, let's say you deposit Bitcoin, right? You get paid 56% APR paid in the farm token, which is Krill, which might sound great, but you have to understand that, they're just minting infinite amounts of Krill every single day, right? So what do you think happens to the token price when the supply is infinite? Yes, it goes to zero. I have people joining my Discord asking me if they should buy the farm token. I tell them, no, you're gonna lose money. Please don't buy the farm token, right? Like I literally have like 4 videos on why you should not buy the farm token. I just want to say this again in this video because like literally people in my Discord are asking me. Because all these farms are forks of Goose Finance, which is a yield farm on the Binance Smart Chain. And look what happened to the price, right? This is going to be the fate for 99% of yield farms on Matic. It doesn't matter. Yield farms are yield farms. All the tokens, the farm tokens all go to 0. So yeah, just wanted to say that. At first I got into a Poly Whale. It's still a decent farm, but you know, it's not going to like make you crazy gains. It's definitely like the biggest and the safest farm out there. Then I got into Polycake. I always talk about like, I mean, it seems like farms are easy, but it's really not. Like I kind of do this like full time, so I'm like constantly researching different farms, whether I should rotate my capital into this farm or this farm, and I don't always make my deposit fee back because, you know, there's a 4% deposit fee roughly for all farms, and the deposit fee will be used to buy that crow, right? So if you're early, you can farm more tokens, and the people that come after you, their fees will be used to buy that token, so you can dump on them, right? That's essentially how yield farms work. So, you know, Polycake, I did not make my deposit fee back. This was a failure, but it's okay, on to the next, you know, like the bad ones, as long as like the successful yield farms outperform like the bad ones, like, you're gonna be okay. And the goal with farms is just make your deposit fee back, make the 4% deposit fee back, which might seem easy on the surface, but it's not easy if you're not early enough. And I'll share some resources on how to be early and how to find safe farms. And after Polycake, I got into PolyFi, and this was a pretty good one. I think I profited roughly 1,000 Matic from this. But obviously, like most of the farms that I'm going to talk about, by the time you hear about these farms, like they're gonna die, right? Like because the average lifespan of these farms will be like 2 to 3 days. So you really have to be early. You really have to be on the lookout for new farms. So, you know, just don't blindly ape into some random farm just because I talk about it in this video. So PolyFi was a good one. Gameswap, this is also a good one. And you can see like over time, the quality of these memes, like the names of these farms improve over time. Because Poly Whale, it's like an animal. Polycake, like what the fuck is that? PolyFi, like what are you even trying? Like Polyfinance, like what the fuck? And now it's Gameswap. Okay, like you farm stonks, you stack stonks and earn dividends. Okay, like I can get behind that. And this is a pretty good one. It's so janky because like the website was down for like half the time, so like no one could sell their stonks. But you know, it did really well. I think I profited also like 1,000 Matic from this. And the best farm that I got into was Monopoly, right? Like Monopoly, that's a good name. Like ape into this. It still has a pretty high TVL, and I'm sure it's still a good farm. But I think I profited roughly 2,000 Matic from this. And the key to farming is like you have to rotate. Like you never marry a farm because, like I said, all farms go to 0. So you know, some farms will go to 0 slower than others. Monopoly seems to be sustaining itself, but you know, just always rotate and always try to make your deposit fee back. And I also got into Polyce, right? Like, yeah, fuck the police. You bribe the police and get some like CSI tokens. Pretty cool. This farm kind of died. I got into this yesterday, and now it's like already dying. So you know, Monopoly is still going strong, but Polyce is dying. Never marry a farm. And the one I'm in right now is called Polypunk. I was kind of excited for this because, you know, CryptoPunks, Polypunk, okay, I can get behind this. This is a pretty cool website, but this thing kind of died. Like, I might get my deposit fee back, but yeah, this is an okay farm. Like, I'll probably break even, make some money back, whatever. And, you know, I was going to go over, like because all these farm tokens go to 0, like what you want to do is you want to farm and dump these tokens, right? So you want to harvest these tokens for essentially 0 fees, and, you know, you can just take these farm tokens that are worthless, right? It's going to go to 0 over time, but as long as you sell them early enough, you can essentially swap them for any token you like. So, like for the past 2 weeks, I've been farming AAVE with this. Sorry, not AAVE. I've been farming Matic with this. Did it go through? Why is it not coming through? Okay, there you go. So right now, like I borrowed some dollars. I want to pay off my debt, so I'm just gonna buy some DAI with this. But you know, it doesn't have to be DAI. It doesn't have to be Matic. Like if you're bullish, like Ethereum, if you're bullish Bitcoin, if you're bullish AAVE, like you can just farm these worthless tokens and just dump them for a token that you actually want, right? So, and if you think about it, like right now I'm earning like 8,000% APY on DAI, pretty decent. The more you farm, you start to realize that like 8,000% is nothing, just because the farm token will just go down over time. Like this thing was like $700 when it first launched, and now it's like $7, right? Like token supply is infinite, token go to 0 over time. And I guess if you're interested in yield farms, like just try it out, right? Like probably like your first two to three yield farms, you might lose money, you might not make your deposit fee back, you might break even, you might make some money, but you just want to understand like how this entire process works. Like literally you're just staking tokens and you're farming and dumping them. And you might ask me like, what are the risks, right? Because like it kind of sounds too good to be true. And you know, there are risks, there are lots of risks. And the biggest risk is being rugged, right? Like being rugged sucks. For example, like I have some DAI in here, and if I, you know, the potential, like I guess like the definition of a rug is like you deposit fees, you deposit assets into a yield farm, and the developers just take your money and run away, right? Because all these developers are anonymous. If they take your funds, there's nothing you can do about it. So the one tool that I use that's been really helpful for me is called the Rug Doctor. This is like a team of individuals that essentially like read code to see like whether a farm is gonna rug or not. Like they're gonna try to detect malicious code. Keep in mind these guys are also anonymous, so like I'm trusting my funds in the hands of anonymous developers, and you know they're trying their best, but they might not catch certain code. But you know this is like a way to differentiate good farms, bad farms, risky farms, etc. So for example, monk farm, like this is red, so and the dev is holding 50% of the supply, so you know it's probably gonna rug. They're gonna dump on you. So don't go into this. Yellow is so red is super risky, yellow is some risk, and white is less risky. Obviously, with higher risk, there's higher rewards, but you know I don't want to get rugged. And the mindset that I go into with every farm is that even though I use the Rug Doctor, even though I do some research, I do know that at some point I will be rugged, and it's gonna hurt like a bitch. But it's okay, because you know I understand the risks I'm taking, and as you can see, like if you do enough research, you know there's lots of rewards to come with it. Okay, and I guess the reason yield farms are profitable right now is because there is so much money flowing into the Polygon ecosystem. Because what gas fees are like 120 right now. Like during the fucking dog token like craze, it was like 500. So like ETH is really good at pricing retail out, like retail normies like me. So there's a lot of demand to go onto the Polygon network. And as you can see, Defi Llama, this is a way to track TVL, total value locked, and it's essentially at almost 8 billion, right? So there's more and more money flowing into the Polygon network. More money means that these yield farms are only going to get bigger and bigger. At some point, I think there's going to be too many yield farms that it's not going to work. But in the meantime, I'm going to take advantage of the opportunity given. And like almost 8 billion, that's a lot. And AAVE is over half of that, right? So like AAVE, great application. Personally, I think that if you're on Polygon and you're not using AAVE, you're doing something wrong. Because come on, look at these rates. They're amazing. They're being paid to borrow and lend. All right, so hope that makes sense. Get your foot in the door, try some yield farms. Be okay if you don't make your deposit fee back. But the ones that are successful, like Monopoly, GameStonks, like these ones will make you a fortune. Because this thing made me like 2,000 Matic in like 30 hours. Anyways, if you like the content, please like and subscribe and let me know what you think of these yield farms in the description below. And let me know what kind of content that you will be interested in the future. Thank you guys for watching and have a nice day.